Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. This morning we've got a used Cimarron behind me. Now we don't get these very often, but boy, we really like to get them in just because we are a new Cimarron dealer. We've got a lot of customers that maybe a new one doesn't make sense. We can't quite get them what they're looking for in as quickly as they're looking for, especially right now as we're working into spring and summertime, and we know that it's taking a little while to get trailers, especially living quarters. So behind me is a 2018 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse living quarters. This is a Pro Line by Outlaw. Now before we kind of get into this trailer, let's go ahead and take a look at the drawings, because we can go ahead and show you the drawings from Cimarron and Outlaw of this actual trailer that's sitting behind me. So this one right here is 29.9 on the floor. It's 8 foot wide. It's 7.7 tall. It has a folding rear tack, has a slide out. I mean, a really well-equipped trailer. And then if we take a look at the living quarter side of it, then we're looking at a 15.4 short wall, again with the slide. Now again, this is a Pro Line by Outlaw, so it's their production model. It's still Outlaw quality. With the Pro Lines, you have kind of some limited options that you can do to it, limited colors, some different color options there, to where if you move into an Outlaw, then you get the full-blown whatever you want, you know, you can do in the living quarters itself. But again, what we're looking at here is a living quarters on the ground ready, available for you today. So again, that's kind of something that you're not used to seeing out there in the industry right now. But again, with us being a new Cimarron dealer, we really kind of look out for these trailers and try to get them in. So we do take trades, we do buy trailers. This one here is actually a purchase of ours. Things change, we understand that. We try to make it as easy, as simple as possible as far as the transaction and getting everything just picked up directly from you and shipping the trailer in. But when we get these used trailers, we do put them back through our shop. This is a very clean, lightly used trailer. If you've watched the videos, especially the ones I do not like the term like new. It is a used trailer. Now, a trailer can be used but lightly used, but it is not a new trailer from that standpoint. But when we get them in, we do a couple things to them. With this being living quarters, we have a shop across the street that handles our motorhome side, and then they do the actual living quarters side of our trailers, the household side. So they'll go through, they'll go ahead and service all appliances. It's like buying a new pickup, or excuse me, a used pickup. I don't want to hear somebody say, well, I think that the previous owner changed that oil maybe about 3,000 miles ago. No, I want to know. Oil got changed. So when we get these in, we service the appliances. So when you know you get it, that work has been done. Just like servicing the generator, changing that oil, those type of things we do to it. Then we bring it across to our chassis shop. We realign every trailer. That is something that's done to every used trailer. And even our new air ride trailers or trailers over 26 foot on the floor, we do that. They're no different than passenger vehicles. Things can get knocked out of alignment, which is going to cause bad tire wear, which is going to cause potential blowouts and cause you sitting on the side of the road changing a tire. We don't want to do that. We understand those type of things can happen, but we want an alignment done to every one of these to make sure they're running straight down the road. We'll look at brakes, we'll look at bearings. Everything safety is automatic when we do these trailers. Adjust dividers, all of those type of items, we want them to be in as good a condition and ready for you to go use when you make the purchase itself, rather than having those type of things after the fact. Now let's get into how this trailer is equipped. It's a Cimarron, so it's all aluminum construction. Since this trailer is a slide out, you'll notice underneath the gooseneck here we have dual jacks. These are electric over hydraulic, so there is a manual override. But when you get into these bigger trailers, especially with slide outs, we go ahead and put these dual electric over hydraulic jacks on every single one of them. Some manufacturers will try to do a single leg. We don't like doing that if there's a slide involved, or in bigger trailers going with the dual. 20-pound propane bottles. It does have the gauge on it, so you can tell if it's when it turns red, you're out. When it's green, you're good to go. You have your battery box up above there that's gonna actually have our house batteries, and then also a battery disconnect in there so we can go ahead and kill power to this trailer. But by having the dual jacks, what's really good is there's multiple benefits to that. One is just the stability on this trailer when we have that slide out. But then also it gives us the ability to go ahead and level this trailer from side to side, front to back, as you normally would on a trailer. The front to back is pretty easy when you do have the jack, but now we can kind of work side to side. The other thing is, if you go to hook up this trailer and you're not dead center on it, with the dual jacks, you can actually walk a trailer onto the ball itself. So that's kind of just a nice little handy trick there. So let's take a look at this, because again, this is a 15.4 Pro Line by Outlaw conversion. So again, we still have the hardwood cabinetry as you would in an Outlaw, but again, you're somewhat limited on what you can do for color options as far as the wood stain, and then also, you know, our backsplash, our countertop, our floors, soft touch walls, and then the ceiling material there. So really well equipped. Boy, with this slide out, it really opens up this trailer. I mean, the very first thing you notice when you walk in with the slide out is a sofa sleeper that'll fold down into a bed as well. And then directly across from it is going to be a dinette. So in this 15.4, there's a couple different versions of this, but this right here will break down into a bed as well. I've got two little ones. They could easily sleep on this. If it was just an adult, it's probably just a one person here, to where in the sofa it's a little bit bigger, so you can do two people there. But because of having these dual seating areas, you can break these down. So you've got dual sleeping areas as well, and then up in the neck, obviously. But here, what's really cool is you have the dinette, so you don't have to get a table out and break it down every time. You have a place to sit. Same with the sofa. There is, in the floor, a location for another table that goes to the sofa sleeper as well. But Outlaw does a really good job on really trying to utilize all the little nooks and crannies for storage. We understand you're going to be taking a lot of stuff with you, so there's storage up above the sofa. This one below, in my opinion, is a great spot for, you know, the actual bedding for these sleeping areas here. You know, it's real deep as far as depth into the slide. It's not as tall this way, but you know, you can easily shove pillows and those type of items underneath there. Now, because this is an electric slide, our water's actually located on the gooseneck drop wall. The hydraulic slides, we can go ahead and put the water in there because it's got that capability to hold that additional weight. But the electric slides have come so far, you know, in the last probably 5-6 years. We're incorporating them a lot. You know, they were doing them on campers and RVs, and again, they've come a long way just from the performance of them. And the other good thing is we can do a smaller footprint as far as our framework on the sides, so we can actually reduce living quarter sizes and still get you a slide out. That's always been one of the challenges, is how big of a short wall do you need in order to put a slide? And it used to be about that 12-13 foot, but because of these electric slides, now we can get them down into the, you know, about a 10/8 is what Outlaw offers as far as a slide out. Get into the kitchen area here. There's a lot of counter space. It's a little bit bigger counter because of this size of the short wall itself. But you've got a recessed 2-burner cooktop. It's got the glass cover on it, so you can put some items on top of that. You've got a hood vent above it, and then a microwave. Now, when you jump into the Outlaws, that's when you get the ability to go ahead and put like convection ovens in them. But in the Pro lines, you're going to get the microwave. And then you've got a cover for a kitchen sink. Again, the water tank's going to come across right here at the gooseneck drop wall, but you've got a couple steps going up into the gooseneck area where you have a memory foam mattress. Again, I know it's a little storage space, but hey, every time we can find somewhere to put something in these trailers, it's a good thing. So even like a little storage right there as we incorporate walking up into these steps. 6.0 refrigerator freezer. You know, in this size of a trailer, it's really easy to get these size of refrigerators and freezers, but boy, are they beneficial, because now we can keep, you know, freezer items out of the refrigerator. Usually in those smaller refrigerators, you get a very, very small freezer section to where here you got a full-blown 6.0, so a separate freezer and then fridge option. You have a flat screen TV. It's on an arm, so it will swivel. So depending on where you're sitting, you can move that around. Below that is our AM, FM radio, CD player, DVD player that'll feed right into that. And then some buttons right here that are gonna actually control our exterior speakers. So if you have the radio on, you wanna sit out there and enjoy it, you can actually turn on those exterior speakers. Up above the door are some hat racks. We incorporate those quite a bit in these trailers because honestly, again, where can we use additional storage? That spot up there is kind of some wasted space. So go ahead and add those to the trailer itself. As we're looking up this way, here's where you'll notice the soft touch wall, but I want you to notice the venting. So with these, this is fantastic because now it's actually ducted air throughout this. So, you know, we only have one air conditioner on this, so it's kind of centralized. So instead of all of our air coming from one location, now we can force it throughout this ductwork. And actually we can shut some vents down, point them in different areas. So it's actually going to keep this living quarters area, you know, a more consistent temperature for you and more comfortable. Same with the heat. You know, as the heat rises, you can cycle it and kind of vent it through. And again, just manipulate it and keeping this area nice and cool. And again, a consistent temperature. We're not literally trying to get everything from this one section here. And then as we go into the bathroom, this is a real good sized bathroom. You got the pocket door, so you don't have to, you know, work around an actual swing door. I'm stepping through into the stall area just so you can get a good see and feel for everything in here. Again, here's a closet, double rods, so a lot of storage there. Radius shower with the skylight. That skylight helps with natural lighting, but also if you're a lot taller, you know, it gives you a little bit more headroom as well. People ask all the time, well, why are these showers, you know, lifted up from the floor so much? Well, one is we're running some ductwork underneath there, again for our furnace, but these are RVI certified trailers, and one of the things that makes that requirement is you have to have an actual P-trap. So there's an actual P-trap underneath there. That's the other reason why it's raised up, to actually have that capability, and we need that extra space for that. But a lot of floor space in here. You got your toilet. You're not literally having to hover over your toilet to stand in front of your bathroom vanity, you know, getting ready. You got some shelves for linens. You got a closet underneath there, and then the actual medicine cabinet opens up. It's a really good size. And again, additional storage in there. A lot of times they'll kind of skimp in these bathroom areas, but that is a really good sized bathroom right there that we're looking at. So again, that gives you a good idea of the actual layout of this trailer. We do this quite a bit in some of our own inventory trailers itself. As we step out here, there's a good look at those dual speakers that I was showing you that you can control. And then this is, if you look at this is a massive awning, and that is an electric awning. One of the big things we were finding is a lot of customers didn't know how to properly operate a manual awning. When they go back in, they kind of automatically lock back into place, but people thought you had to reach up there and pull the lever to actually lock it, and that doesn't, that unlocks it. So these electric awnings have come kind of a long ways as far as price point versus a manual awning. It's just like flat screen TVs. You know, when they first came out, they were extremely expensive, you know, compared to a tube TV. Well, now tube TVs are non-existent. Everything's flat screen. So pretty much everything in inventory is a electric awning, unless somebody specifically asked for a manual awning. We go ahead and do the electric. So it's, you know, push a button, in and out it goes. So it's really easy to operate. The other thing too is you've got that protective aluminum cover on that. You know, what we see a lot of times is awnings will be actually in really good shape, except for the first foot that's actually against the trailer, because those UV rays just over time just eat it up. It gets real fragile and brittle, and it'll just break. So when we roll them out, we'll have about a foot where you can kind of see some daylight through there, and then go ahead and need to replace that awning fabric. So this will help that awning fabric last a long, long time. I mentioned the RVI certified. Outlaw is the last standing conversion company out there in the living quarters industry that does the RVI certification. And that is really important because one is they lobby for us to actually go and travel and enjoy these trailers on the road itself. But when you pull into any public, private campgrounds, you meet the requirements that they need for electrical, LP, water, everything on these trailers, so you can plug in and not get turned away from somewhere. If you look up top there, that is an 8-foot Haypod. So that was an upgrade from the standard on this trailer. That will approximately fit about 10 to 12 bales, just kind of depending on the size of them. And then they extend it back, and kind of this back portion is actually, we'll get to the back of the trailer and you'll be able to see it, but that's housing our onboard generator. So we have two 8,000-pound rubber torsion Dexter axles, 17.5 wheels with 16-ply tires. So good running gear underneath this trailer. Since it's a 3-horse, I mean, it's not massive, by any means. I mean, this thing's still under 30 foot of floor length with a 15.4 short wall and a slide out. They upgraded to the drop windows on the hip wall rather than the bus windows. Create a lot more airflow through there. Now it is an upgrade, so it does cost a little bit more, but again, creating a lot of airflow through there for the horses, keeping them nice and comfortable. And then there's a 16-inch awning light kind of right in between that second stall there, so when you got horses tied out and you're tacking at night or in the dark, you've got that capability. So when we get to the back here, since it's 8 foot wide, you go dual 50/50 doors. They are independent, so you can open one or the other. As you can see over to the left, there's our folding rear tack on this one. 3-tier blanket poles, 3-tier saddle racks. That is removable. Those are all adjustable. You can do anything you want there. On the door, you've got some bridle hooks and a brush tray for smaller miscellaneous items. And then even on the partition wall right there, you do have some bridle hooks up there as well. But if you wanted to, you could take this out and break this down and swing it over against the wall. And then you have a little bit wider opening there. Sometimes a lot of people want these trailers to be dual purpose. Maybe they want to run a 4-wheeler in there. Maybe they're going to just take it to hunting camp and they're not taking horses. You've got that capability there. If your horse prefers a rear ramp, or you're wanting those type of scenarios where you have toys, a rear ramp could be added to this trailer. Our parts and service department can do that. And then as we step into the stall area, one of the first things that I want you to notice is padded dividers, airflow dividers. The head grills are airflow, and then we have our drop windows, so we can create a lot of airflow through this trailer, keeping it nice and cool and comfortable for the horses. Stud divider at number 1. So again, if you're not actually hauling a 3rd horse, you've got the ability for some additional storage, which I'm fairly certain this previous customer did. They added this little rubber kind of mat to go on the bottom, and then they actually added some recessed kind of tie rings in here so they could secure some items in this first stall. If you don't want those, we could easily remove them and just go ahead and silicone the actual holes, but fairly certain that's what they were doing, was they were using this for some additional storage. Now, instead of rubber mats, when this trailer was first built, it was upgraded to worm flooring. We really like worm flooring. It's permanent, it's impenetrable. You don't have to pull mats out of this. You can literally power wash this trailer out. It's a lot simpler to do that, and honestly, it'll give more longevity to that floor, because urine is never going to make it down to that aluminum. And aluminum and urine don't get along. We have to really take care of floors as far as that's concerned. Now, we talked about all these drop windows and airflows to create a nice, comfortable environment for the horses. But most importantly, this is standard on every single Cimarron, is that insulated roof. And that will keep the stall area about 20% cooler versus an aluminum roof. So again, keeping horses nice and comfortable and cool. 2-way roof vents up there as well. Since it's a pod on top rather than an integrated pod, you've got the ability to actually go ahead and put some roof vents in there. So you have that capability to manipulate airflow, and then again with everything else that we've incorporated on this trailer, again keeping your horses nice and comfortable. And then you've got some LED lights in the stall area as well, 1 per horse, so 1 right above every stall. So it's really easy to be able to have plenty of light coverage. Again, I showed you the one on the side in the stall area. There's one here at the back, and then there'll be an additional one on the other side of the trailer. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut the left-hand door here because I want to show you, instead of a bolt-on ladder, this trailer was upgraded when it was built with the easy angle ladder. Kind of like a ramp. We can go ahead and add this to any trailer out there, but it's a lot easier process walking up this ladder that's actually kind of leaned against the trailer rather than going straight up the side. So if you need to get up there, again, there's that box I was mentioning on the side of the trailer. That's actually housing that Awning 4000 generator up there. Now we've had it running this whole time. These Awnings are really quiet. Obviously, as you get to the back, you can hear it. But when you get into living quarters, you might hear a very, very slight hum, if that. But you've got the ability to go up there with that easy angle ladder, get up there on that platform. So, you know, it's a little bit safer. You're not just standing on the roof. We prefer the platforms rather than, again, just a roof that you're standing on. That insulated roof is really, really strong. It's a 1/2 inch thick honeycomb. I mean, I can walk on these roofs, but I won't dent them. But hey, let's go ahead and put that platform up there. You kind of have the extension of that pod, so it kind of closes in a little bit more, a little bit safer for you when you're up there. And then here on head side, there's our drop windows, big, massive drop windows, jail bars that fold down as well. But again, creating a lot of airflow for the horses. And then behind them are our mangers, so additional storage. Now at the back one, you'll notice that there is the fuel cell there. That's where it's going to house, but it does not take up the whole manger. I mean, you still have some additional storage there, but it is handy to be able to fuel up your pickup, pull up to the pump, and go ahead and top off for your generator. Escape door going into the first stall. It has a drop window as well, but again, if you're using it for storage and you have horses loaded, you can access those items jumping in and out. One of the other things is typically on this model here, when it's originally built, is the extrusion stops kind of right about the living quarters area. This one was extended all the way, so it extends up on the slide out itself and then up to the gooseneck drop wall. I think it gives it a better look to the trailer. Again, just kind of, in my opinion, just kind of caps it off. It's a good clean look to them. We really like doing that to our living quarters as well. There's a good look at that slide out. It's got a topper on it as well, so we don't have, you know, moisture hitting the top of the slide and trying to work in. You know, right now we're kind of tipped towards passenger side. That would have the capability if, you know, you had a lot of rain up there, if it wasn't for that awning cover on top of that slide out. So again, a very, very lightly used, very clean 2018 Cimarron 3-horse living quarters. Again, 15.4 short wall, Pro Line by Outlaw with the slide out, onboard generator, Haypod, worm flooring, a really well equipped trailer. But give us a call. Anybody in the sales team can help you out with this trailer. We could look at building a new one. We could look at maybe some other options as well. These trailers are going pretty quick, so don't waste any time. Give us a call. That number is 303-684-3400. Thanks for tuning in and have a good day.